equals like a Tanzania cashew nut, but when you find it in the stores here, it is branded as Vietnamese or Indian or whatever. There's nothing on that that says it's from Tanzania. So we are working on that branding and bringing in, even if you find it at Costco, which we are hoping it's going to be shortly, it will have product of Tanzania on the bottom of it. That's the work we're doing. In Ghana, we are working with young people that have come out of university that are unemployed. They are being retrained by MasterCard into digital skills. So we are finding them work as virtual assistants, virtual work. In COVID, everybody's working remotely. Why can't our youth work from wherever they are in Africa and do work like everybody else? What else can in Uganda and Kenya and Zimbabwe? We are. I see you. I'm going to end on this note. Anyway, I'll end right there. I can tell about all the other projects we are doing around Africa. But what I want for us to take out of this is Africa has a lot to offer to Canada, but we have to see it as equals and collaborate and find places where we can improve and grow and learn from each other. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We can do better than that. For someone doing such a great job, we can do better than that. Thank you so much, Susan. Next, I'll have Jimmy. I've had the privilege to be a friend to Jimmy and the great work he's doing for young people in Kamengo and beyond. Please help me welcome Jimmy.
Thank you, Pastor, and greeting to all of you. It's an honor to be up here and standing with you. I just want to acknowledge the organizers. Mr. Mayanja, I know the struggles you've gone to put this event here in Ottawa. We've tried to help you with the Uganda Association of Ottawa and Pastor and Susan. So I commend the organizing committee, and I know the challenges still have, so I will encourage everybody to pay for your breakfast if you can. I know he has bills at this hotel, and I could only sympathize for you. But thank you guys for being here. I'd like to acknowledge a few people here. I don't come alone. I don't go alone anywhere. And I didn't go to school when I was in Uganda. Copy something here and take it back home, which I believe all of you young people, all of us have the ability to do something for other people. If I could do it, you can do it too. So I have two organizations. I have the Canada Africa Community Health Alliance, and we do an annual medical mission in Uganda. We've been doing it for 15 years. COVID stopped us. We actually caught the last flight out of Uganda when COVID started. And one volunteer stayed in Uganda, and he was panicking. He didn't want to be there, but he came back, and we caught the last flight. Then they closed the borders. We haven't been back since COVID started, and we're looking forward to go back. I'm lucky enough to have the people that support this organization here. I have two board members from the Canada Africa Community Health Alliance. I have the information for this organization out there, but anybody in Canada can go do healthcare in Uganda. And I'm going to start by inviting two people who will speak for 1 minute, because I only have 5 minutes, so pardon with me. I would like to invite Dr. Linda Newton and Dr. Flavia Sendimkasa to come up here and say a few words. Dr. Flavia Sendimkasa, you could hear the name Sendimkasa, did her medical school in Toronto, and then she went to Uganda and volunteered, did her practice, her training in Kozi Hospital. Linda works for the UN, and she's on my committee here, and she's been to Uganda, I do not know how many times, and I think she'll greet you in the local language when she comes up here. So Linda, come on up. No pressure at all.
That's it. So thank you, Jimmy. I'm honored to be here, and we're just delighted to be part of this, and I'm very mindful of my 60 seconds, so I just want to tell you a little bit about why, what, and how, Akasha and the Agnes Sabali Boys and Girls Club. The Canada Africa Community Health Alliance is there to promote community health at the rural level in Uganda and 3 other countries in Africa, Tanzania, Benin, and Uganda, 4 countries. And DRC. We don't have a medical mission in the DRC. But what do? We're involved in partnering with local communities to bring a medical mission or sometimes an infrastructure mission to that community. sometimes once a year, in some cases 2 times a year. And as I mentioned, we work with the local community clinics, with local organizations such as the Ageesigika Boys and Girls Club, who have been supporting the medical mission for now, as Jimmy said, for 15 years. And we do this with volunteers, with the groups that are here with us, with members from CASHA, with members from our community. We are the volunteers, we are the logisticians that help move the patients through the missions. We have medical staff, we have Laura Weir here, who's a nurse practitioner. Dr. Flavia is going to talk about what she's done, and that's how we make it happen. The other thing we do is we engage the communities, because I loved what Madame Suzanne just said about lifting people up, and we're not there to help, we're there to empower people. And one of the things we also have started to do is to support local businesses, to get our youth in the AZBGC to learn about developing their own business, so that they empower themselves. They're not taking money from somebody else, it's their money, and they're giving back to their community. So thank you so much. I'll turn this over to Dr. Flavia, and she can talk about her medical work.
I'll introduce her. Thank you, Linda. Very well said. Dr. Flavia Sendimkasa also happens to be my sister-in-law, and I call her Masao, and she's shy, she says, but an amazing human being. And all of you, if you get a chance to speak to her, but this is what life should be about. Somebody who's so smart and so skilled, willing to help others, and remembering where she came from.
Hi, thank you for that introduction. I think this one works a bit better. Thank you for that introduction, Jimmy. My name is Flavia Sendimkasa. I'm currently a family doctor in Ottawa. I work at the Somerset West Community Health Centre, and I also practice low-risk obstetrics, so I deliver babies at the Civic Hospital. When I was in medical school, I had the great fortune of spending 2 months in Uganda, in Kamengo, Jimmy's home village, where I worked alongside healthcare providers at the Goli Health Center and at Nkosi Hospital. And I saw that the doctors and the nurses and the clinical officers were very skilled and very knowledgeable, but the resources they had were not there, and that greatly affects the care that people receive. And so I was humbled to participate in the CASHA annual medical mission in my last 2 weeks that I was there. I know that CASHA and AZBGC, the local Boys and Girls Club, is working to hopefully fundraise to build a new maternity ward at the Goli Health Center. And I think it starts with healthcare, right? We need to support our people there so that they can, get an education, start businesses, work, and contribute to their communities. And so I really hope that'll be possible. I hope to join the medical missions again when they start up. They've unfortunately been paused due to COVID. I was so impressed by the youth that I met there, the youth that are part of the community organization there, that when I came back to Ottawa, I joined the Ottawa community of the Ageesigika Boys and Girls Club, and I hope to continue working with them throughout my career.
Amazing. She's not so shy, and she did a very good job. Thank you, guys. So the Canada African Health Alliance and the Ageesigika Boys and Girls Club, I'll tell you more, but basically my work is supporting healthcare and education. And I'm very mindful of the history of Africa, and so my work is really not to go impose my will. I just remember what I needed as a kid growing up in the village. And so what I did was to kidnap the Boys and Girls Club idea in Ottawa, and I took it back to my village, and it is named after Ageesigika Boys and Girls Club. Look beyond the name. My mother told you how she felt, and I think I've done that with Mr. Mayanja, just know how to live one way. So sometimes that rubs people the wrong way. But she forced me to go back to Uganda, and she made me fall in love with my country. And so what I did was take this idea of Boys and Girls Club, and through sports and education, I believe is my hope for Africa and Uganda in particular. So our Boys and Girls Club is an after-school program where I bought a house and I broke it down and built a basketball court, and everybody looked at me. But as I speak to you, 40 kids in the village of Kamengo have gotten scholarship to go to these very fancy schools in Kampala where they will never get a chance to go. As I speak to you now, one of the most vulnerable kids, I think, is in Romania playing basketball. As I speak to you now, I have a team of young dancers who might be on their way to Canada and to perform at the Blues Fest and various things. What that does is encouraging all the other kids that, you know what, we may not have this and that, but we have our culture and language and drumming, and that is powerful. So I'm not alone. I'm very lucky. I have a lady here. She sells Ugandan food. She connects all of us. And Susan, you can stand up, please. Please give her a hand. She went and visited my Boys and Girls Club in the village and talked to them about the benefit of organic farming. Nobody wants to farm in Uganda, young people. They want to ride borders. But when Susan went and she bought some of their food and bought it here, I got her a few customers, but I support you and I want to thank you. I also want to thank Robert Katende, who's here playing chess, and he's developing youth through chess. Well, I believe in sports, and Robert also visited the kids to show them the benefit of playing chess, and it is my hope you'll go back and start a chess club. We have a beautiful guest house. We have a village tour that we host for Canadians. Canadians want to go to Africa, but we no longer want to go to Kampala because all of the important people have seen the city, and it's hard to go back to Kampala and function. But what is there is the village and the people and the resilience and the kindness, and that is what has preserved Uganda and Africa, and I will continue to preserve it. So I want to thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak. Thank you, Pastor. Thank you, Mayanja. And also thank you, the President of the Uganda Association of Ottawa, David. And I would just say the healthcare in Uganda is heartbreaking. I'm a walking miracle. I have my own story, and I know what happened. My mother died in Uganda, and I am still here. And all I could do is raise $200,000 to build a maternity ward, but I'm looking for Ugandans to give me a helping hand in this cause. If you don't, I'll still go by, somehow figure it out. I have my friend Paul Segirinya, he may donate, and David, and Susan, and Robert, and Pastor. But I would love for you important Ugandans that are here, observe this city, you're here in Canada today, copy something and take it home. I do not have all the answers. I give all the respect to all of you, but copy something. All of us could do something small to uplift a vulnerable person. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We can do better than that for all the great work happening in Ikamengo. Great initiatives. Tore down a building, built up a basketball, has 40 kids on scholarship, one who is playing pro sports overseas. Great work that you're doing. Thank you so much, Jimmy. We have a few more Ugandans. I think it is important when we meet like this to highlight the contribution that Ugandans are making in Canada. And sometimes someone says you don't have to blow your own trumpet, but I have seen all trumpeters and they always actually blow their own trumpet. So I have a bit of an issue with that particular adage. So I'm going to ask Prima to come and tell us briefly of how you have gotten Ugandan products imported from Uganda on the shelves of the markets in Ottawa. Let's put our hands together for a very courageous businesswoman.
Thank you, Pastor. Thank you, everyone. Good evening, Uganda, and good morning, Ottawa. Thank you. Once again, my name is Susan Prima, and I'm very honored to be here. Thank you so much, Ronald, and the entire committee that has been working hard towards making this successful. We greatly appreciate. Like they said, I import food, fresh and dry produce from Uganda to Canada, and I have managed to put it in some of the stores, specialty stores here in Canada. I do it with so much pleasure because I see the joy on the faces of my people when they do business with me. When I came here, I thought of something that I can do to send the dollar back home, but not in a way that implies that I'm giving handouts. So I thought to myself, what is it that I can still do? And we're still sending the dollar and the support back home, but we are also trying to, push our people to look beyond just receiving the handouts. So I started doing food imports, and I'm currently working with over 200 farmers in Uganda. I go back to Uganda occasionally. I have a team down there who trains the farmers on the international standards. And I must say that where we started from is not where we are today. I am very, very thankful to God and very thankful to the community here because I have received so much support and so much appreciation for our foods. I have also tried to work with the Canadian producers here. I have trained with different organizations here to bring me up to date with the standards that are required in the market here. And it's a work in progress. It's still a work on our side, on the Ugandan side, to make sure that our foods are befitting for the major shelves here in Canada. So I want to thank all of you who have been supporting, this journey, and I am so glad that we're able to still touch the lives of the people back home as we promote business between Uganda and Canada. Thank you.
I don't know about you, but I'll do better than that for someone who has figured out a way of having boxes of food clearly written imported from Uganda on the Canadian market. Thank you so much, Prima. It's a blessing that we are here, and personally, if I should speak a little bit about myself, I came here 22 years ago. I established a church here 16 years ago. Our church is generally described as a Ugandan church, but it's not, because I have a small cross-section of youth who are coming from our church, who are in our church, and they're here this morning. The first one is my daughter, who is born here, but she's Ugandan, but she was born here, so she reminds me all the time, Daddy, I cannot kneel because I'm Canadian. And the next one is a girl from Nigeria. The next one is a young man from South Africa. The next one is a young lady from Rwanda. The next one is a young man from Uganda, Uganda, right? Yes. And the last one is a young lady from the Democratic Republic of Congo. That tells you that our church is not just a Ugandan church, but we are here to serve the Canadian community. And that's the first thing I do. The second thing I do is we also opened up shelters for newcomers. I'm glad we have an immigration judge here. One of the things that happens is that people come from different countries, and as soon as they arrive in Canada, technically they are declared homeless, because homeless by definition means you don't have a place to go. But our homeless shelters in Canada are not designed for refugees and newcomers. They're designed for homeless, people that are homeless on our streets. So when you have a newcomer or a refugee like yourself coming in Canada and going to a homeless shelter, two problems happen. A bed for our city homeless is taken away. Number two, the shelter where you are going is not where you're supposed to be. So chances are you have a very bad welcome to Canada, not because there's anything wrong with the shelter, but because it's not the place for you. So what we did, we've been working with the city of Ottawa and trying to convince the mayor to allow us have homes that are designed as shelters for newcomers. These are homes in suburban neighborhoods that give a newcomer a glimpse of the dream of being in Canada. We have first-class, five-star hotel services in our homes. We run 3 homes. They're extremely expensive to run. I'm not sponsored by the government, but we have done everything possible to raise local support and local contributions to make sure that if you are new in Canada, you can always check with Stepstone House. We will accommodate you, we will support you, help you go through the system until you meet what we call an immigration refugee board member to decide on your case. So that's in a nutshell what I do. And lastly, I do a lot of youth mentorship. But we also have a few other Ugandans, just 2 more that I'm going to highlight for you. And then we are going to get into our international guests that we are looking forward to hearing from, but most importantly, our guest speaker this morning, Madame Rachel. We have our president for the association. He is a PhD student here in Canada, and we elected him as our president of the Uganda Association in Ottawa. Mr. Kajoba, will you just come and receive us in Ottawa and give these guests a welcome? Let's put our hands together for him. Let's put our hands together for him. Thank you.
Distinguished guests in all your capacities, we are delighted to have you this morning joining us here. We want to thank you for making the time to join us as we celebrate our shared heritage, but also our shared citizenship in the great city of Ottawa, but Canada as a whole. The Uganda Association of Ottawa is a community organization registered with the province of Ontario, and what we do is to bring Ugandans together and people of Ugandan descent and friends of Uganda to give them a sense of community, to give them a sense of belonging, to give them a sense of a feeling of home away from home. We specifically have programs for our children when we have mentorships programs to help with mental health. We have programs for seniors, adults, parents, you name it. So we are very delighted that you're here with us today. Enjoy your stay, walk around, enjoy the city, but most importantly, if you haven't yet, plan to visit Uganda. Thank you. Good morning.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kajoba. And lastly, on our local scene, we have two amazing young people that are going to be singing. But before they do, we just want to make sure we observe proper protocol. I'm going to request the staff of the Uganda High Commission to come and take these seats here, right at the front. Ambassador Helen and the team from the Uganda High Commission, will you just do me a favor and please come and occupy these seats at the front? When our ambassador comes, I want her to know that we observed protocol. Please just come forward and occupy these seats. Let us put our hands together for our Uganda Embassy staff. They are doing an incredible job. We can do better than that. They're doing an incredible job. We have had our national IDs issued to us through their efforts. They have been great friends to the Ugandan community. And we are planning to have passports issued at the embassy as well. So we do appreciate the great work that you are doing. We have a full embassy. I've been here for 22 years, as I mentioned, and we have had kind of a scanty staff. But I'm so glad that this time around we have a full, complete staff. And we want to thank the government of Uganda for recognizing our presence as Ugandans here and sending us a full-fledged embassy staff. We are very grateful for that. It's the first time I've seen that in the 22 years I've been here, and we do appreciate. We even have a military attaché now attached to our embassy. We have an immigration officer attached to our embassy. We have a full team functioning. We want to thank that effort. We want to ask from the local scene, we have two wonderful, amazing, soon-to-be Canadians. They're permanent residents. I'm going to ask you to do me a great favor as we welcome Ezekiel and Esther Mutesasira, finalists of the East African Got Talent. As a matter of fact, winners of the East African Got Talent and semi-finalists of the Canada Got Talent. They are singers, and so they expect some energy from the house. They need some energy, some love. Amazing young people. Over to you. Please come over.
Hello, everyone. My name is Esther, and this is my brother Ezekiel. It's such a great honor to be here. We thank God for all of you, and good morning.
Hello, everyone. As she said, my name is Ezekiel Mutasasra. We're going to be singing for you one song, the song that got us to semifinals. Semifinals. Enjoy.
This is Diaspora TV, your #1 global network.
Summit is back. Join us in downtown Ottawa. We'll be at the West Inn Hotel from the 1st of July to the 3rd of July. And I'm super excited to be hosting the convention once again. So if you're in the areas of Ottawa, Toronto, or if you want to be part of the convention and you're here in Uganda, be sure to look out for the information on how you can register. We'll be bringing investors together to discuss, among others, the different investment opportunities. Uganda is open for business in sectors like real estate, tourism, diaspora banking. Mention it. The keynote address will be given by Professor Maggie Chigozi, or Don't We Just Love Her?
Hello, this is Moses Matobu from the Africa Band. I'm so excited to inform you that we will for the first time perform in Canada at the Uganda Canada Convention from 1st July to 3rd July.
If you want to be part of the convention, you can go to www.eventbrite.com or you can reach us on 0700-769683 to register.
My name is Professor Ageesigika. Join us at the Canada-Uganda Convention in Ottawa, Canada. We will be at the Westin Hotel on the 1st to the 3rd of July. I will be your keynote speaker at the breakfast, and we will be hosted by Solomon Serwanja. There will be discussion about so many areas that will be important to you. We will talk about investment, tourism. We will talk about Education Canada. We will talk about construction and finance, export and import, and many other sectors that are of interest to both you in the diaspora and those of you here in Uganda. Join us on the 1st to the 3rd of July in Canada.
The Uganda Canada Convention and Investment Summit is back. Join us in downtown Ottawa. We'll be at the Westin Hotel from the 1st of July to the 3rd of July. And I'm super excited to be hosting the convention once again. So if you're in the areas of Ottawa, Toronto, or if you want to be part of the convention and you're here in Uganda, be sure to look out for the information on how you can register. We'll be bringing investors together to discuss, among others, the different investment opportunities Uganda is offering.
This is Diaspora TV, your #1 global network.
It's only fitting to have him come and say a few things about what he does. Just give him 2 minutes and also speak about the book. Please, some love to our friend Robert Katende.
Yes, good morning, everyone. All protocol observed. My name is Robert Katende, and I'm so much honored to be here. Thank you very much for having us here. I'm here with my wife, and I request you to join me quickly. I have a little time. Yes, I know the world knows me, but I think if it was not for this beautiful lady, it wouldn't be possible to do what I've been able to do so far. Yes, I want to appreciate each one of you for all the work you do to support people, and especially the children, to enable them to dream. It's my desire. I grew up as an orphan, and many people came to my rescue, of course with my talent a little bit, but if it was not for them to stand in my life, I would not be who I am now. So I took it upon myself to be the person I can be able to, how I can be able to provide a chest for so many other people who desire to dream that they can lean against. I know many of you have watched the Queen of Katwe movie, but people don't know how it came to be. And possibly maybe what happened after that. And I've come up with a book. It's A Night Without a Castle. Those who play chess, they know a knight in chess. And those who actually also, the rook is referred to as a castle. But a knight is always a fighter. But I'm looking at lives of people who are trying to survive, people who are fighting to create their own castles. And this is all about the book. And it gives the genesis of the Queen of Katwe and what happened thereafter. I want to appreciate my brother Jimmy for all the work he has done so far. I've been in Kamengo. My heart goes for these kids as well. And I'm spreading the program across Uganda. We started from Katwe as our head office. We currently serve 1,925 children. We have programs in Katwe in all the slums, currently are all running. We have centers there. Then we have in Masaka, Tilukaya, we have in Kagadi, in Hoima, in Budaka, in Gulu, and they are all centers running. The children in the movie referred to as pioneers are the staff we have. Currently we have 26 of them who are moving across the country to support their fellow children so that they can also have a way to dream and make their dreams come true. So if you need a copy, there will be a copy at the desk. Please feel free to pick one. It goes for only $20 Canadian, and then you'll be able to support the work. There are also other souvenirs made by the children from Uganda. I just want to appreciate you all. One thing I believe in is that every person has a seed of excellency. That just needs to be nurtured for them to harness their God-given abilities. And thank you for always standing in for those who desire to dream.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We are proceeding well with our program. We have just two speakers for you this morning. First of all, I want us to appreciate those who are joined us by via the Facebook, BBS TV, and the Diaspora TV. Let's just put our hands together for our international audience who are joining us, not able to be here physically, but through the miracle and of technology, they are with us this morning. We thank you and welcome you to Ottawa virtually. We have a few programs that are going to be running after this. We still have a boat cruise tonight at 9 p.m. We have our sponsors and persons who have, and organizations, companies that have come, some of them all the way from Uganda, to be part of this event. We have the Centenary Bank and a few others. I'm not going to mention one by one, but they have stalls at the outside. Please visit their stalls, and they are here to serve you. Visit their desks and see what they have to offer you. We are privileged this morning to be hosting a very special lady, Margaret Chigozie, and she's going to be speaking to us about a few things that are on her heart. She's a woman who believes in investment. Maggie is a Uganda medical doctor. She's also a business consultant. She's an educator. She's a sportswoman. She's an all-round person involved just in about every strata of life. She has lots of international exposure, has worked in Zambia. She has traveled many parts of the world. She has been a consultant to the United Nations Industrial Development Organization. Maggie is a mother, and she has fought against odds after the death of her husband many years ago to raise her wonderful children, still serve her country, and make all of us proud. I don't want to speak for her, but this morning we have the pleasure, the blessing of having all the way from Uganda, Mama Maggie Chigozie with us. Shall we just appreciate her as she comes forward to share a few things with us this morning? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Pastor Kiria. Oh, Esther and Ezekiel are gone. I am such a fan. There you are. Hi. They even have a little one. Wow. Say hi to Mom. We miss her a lot. Okay. Thank you, Pastor Kiria. Our Ambassador Helen. And the team. I'm so glad you now have a full team, and it's appreciated by the people who we are supposed to look after. Thank you for the time to be with us. Ronnie, the team that has organized this, and all our friends here today, the ones we've had from earlier, all trying to support the country that you came from. We really appreciate that. And the Canadians also are still thinking about us and wanting to look at us and do business with us. This is the Uganda-Canada Business Expo and Convention, and we are happy that you're here. I wish to start by congratulating you on Canada Day. I was just lucky to be here yesterday and see how happy everybody was in their red shirts. And I think the politeness of the Canadians, and those of you who live here who have become Canadians, the friendliness, and also I see the wonderful infrastructure that Canada has. Yes. And the obedience to rules and regulations. We don't do that. We don't do that. And also, well, there were truckers. Yeah? Those were more like us. We rebel. So I now understand why, really, and I had never understood it before. Canada is the #1 preferred destination for any immigrant. So I can also understand why it's difficult to get visas, because we all want to come here. Everybody wants to come here, and you can't have that happening. Uganda has over 125 registered Canadian investors. A large number of them are our agents that, came out here and then came back and set up great projects that we are benefiting from as Ugandans. A large number of them are Ugandans. And we thank you, the parents here, who've allowed your children to come back and be lawyers and accountants and whatever, all that we need in Uganda. They've come back and they're living in Uganda and, they're happy. I am celebrating today because we are physical. For the first time in the last 3 years, we are able to just be together, see one another. Zoom is well enough, and we thank those who invented technology. Otherwise, we would have not been meeting at all. But it is great that we can now be here together. And I want to congratulate both Canada and Uganda and the world in general on the fight against COVID-19. This has been, I think, the worst experience. I have lived for 70 years. I've never seen anything like it. So this fight has not been easy, and we need to congratulate ourselves that we are here with no masks. We had not seen that for such a long time. Ronnie, we want to thank you in a particular way for enabling us to meet virtually, although we were not able to meet physically, and for arranging this for the first time in Canada. We have been going to North America, we have been going to the UK, but today we are in Canada, and this is the first time. I also wanted to recognize Susan. Has she left? There you are. She's at the back there. Thank you very much, and thank you for visiting me on the farm. So as patron of the Uganda Convention, Uganda Diaspora Network, I welcome you to this meeting. I thank God that we made it through the last 2 years. Yes, we lost many Ugandans, both in the diaspora and at home. And we are happy that this has come to an end. Where are these 122 investors I was telling you about? Many are in hotels, many are in construction, many are in mining. We have Kasese Cobalt, which is a big one. Many are in agriculture. And many are the next generation, and this is exciting for me. We have young Asians whose parents are here and maybe did not even move back, but they came back and they are making a difference. So to the young Ugandans, Canadians, whoever you're here, you can come, you can live in Uganda, you can do business in the most beautiful country in Africa. I must tell you about Uganda, those of you who have not been there. Uganda is green. The temperature is just about what we have here today, but for 12 months of the year. Don't look for winter, it is not there. Yes, we talk about a dry season, but what do we mean? We mean it rains once a week in the dry season, and it rains maybe 3 times a week in the wet season. So dry season is, other people do not call it the dry season. It's not a desert or anything like that. So here today we were hoping you'd come together and have fun. We have in the room Ugandans coming from Uganda, Ugandans who live here at the diaspora, which is for us the target, those of us who came from Uganda. But we also have Canadians and we have Americans also in the room. And we are here, I hope you are here, to make new friends, to get new ideas, share ideas, and look at business opportunities, both in Canada and Uganda. I wish to congratulate you. What you're doing is not easy because, you know, I'm trying to do the same and with very limited success, but congratulations to get Ugandan food. Our food is organic. We don't use pesticides. We don't need to. Yes, in some crops it's a problem, but yeah, generally it's organic. It's very good food. So I'm happy that you have managed to get the Ugandans here to have some of our food, and also the Canadians here. I personally first met the diaspora, including the Ronnie here, many years ago in Boston at the Uganda North America Convention. We came from Uganda, and in Uganda, we know they always knew these diaspora, Basama, they call you. These diaspora come in and have fun well, it's actually not summer, because usually around December. I don't know why they call that Basama, because I suppose we have no seasons, so this Basama is okay. And there was always this, you know, what are they doing over there? They're probably, you know, sweeping, and there was that image in our country. So when I first came and met the Ugandans living here, it was, you know, it wasn't what I expected. I met the Ronnies, he was working with CNN, I met, you know, the doctors and the lecturers, and wow. So I had to go back. Ambassador, at that time they were saying the embassies looked at us as though we were the enemy, we were the opposition, or whatever. So they were getting no support from the embassy. Sending money home was a problem. Some people would even give it to me and I would take it. your dollars back to Uganda, because there was no process. Western Union was expensive, so we came from that stage. We went back home, we told the government, you need to change this. You need to relook at who is the diaspora up there. First of all, look at the remittances. Remittances grew from about $1 million to now billions of dollars. I think 1.4 billion in 2019 dollars was sent back home by the people in the diaspora generally, not Canada alone. They decreased in during the COVID period in 2020 by by 26%. We hope they'll pick up again. So what does this money do? This money educates your children back home. And when I say children, it's in the African sense. You probably have your own children here, but you have lots of nieces and nephews like we all do back home. So your family in Africa is much different from the Canadian family. So they're probably educating all of those, feeding your parents, building houses, hopefully for yourself. I want to encourage you to do that. I think we have companies here that do have houses for you to buy or rent. So all this money goes back to Uganda mainly to support your families. which is a great thing you do, because they wouldn't be able to live in the way they live without you. But it is such a stress on you. I feel it's a stress on you. You need to save yourself. You need to build yourself up. And so this money that you send to us, we want to encourage you to look at it differently. Can we start businesses in Uganda? And a lot of people have done that. I'll tell you the story of one of our UNA board members who's decided, after we'd suggested that instead of sending your mother $100 every month, how about she starts a business? Yes, it's your mother. But he bought her 2 cows, milk cows. The next time he came to visit, like a typical mother, she said to him, would you like some money? Do you need some money? Yeah. And this was correcting what we as Africans know. We look after our children. Why are our children looking after us? You know? So you lose your dignity when it's your child that's now supporting you. But if it's that way around, you can say to this UMA board member, do you need some money? Because I've got money. I sell my milk every day, and I have money. So the top source of remittances to Uganda is from the USA, of course. Bigger country, many more Ugandans over there. Followed by, unfortunately, well, I don't know what to say, by Saudi Arabia. Yes, we have heard about sometimes what happens to our workers. And Switzerland is the next one. The cost of transfers is high, but it's coming down. Now with e-banking, with mobile money, it is coming down for you to send money. It was, I think, about 6.4% recently. The other thing we want to encourage Ugandans living out here is, have you got land in Uganda? What is it doing? I hear a lot of distress about people taking your land, but you've got to utilize that land. I know you have the land title, but people have a right. If there's empty land, they will stay on it. And therefore, want to encourage you to start a business on that land. You could grow some trees. Trees take many, many years to grow, and meanwhile your land is safe. So that would be one thing to do with land if you're still here. Or if your family can do something, some agriculture. That is another possibility. We do have private sector here with us. We have Cyrus here with schools, education. Education had a rough time during COVID, really. I think it probably was the same here, was it? Yeah, it wasn't easy for anyone in private education, not easy for government either, I'm sure. But we also have, the banks, Centenary Bank, you're here. So we have a number of companies that are in this room with us, ready to discuss anybody who's interested in business. So where are the opportunities in Uganda? Very, very briefly, I know we have many speakers. Where are the opportunities? Uganda has a very educated workforce, with Makerere University over 100 years old. So I know sometimes when you're sitting here, you imagine we are there in darkness. We are not. And we have over 60 universities in the whole country. So we have very educated people. So we're very strong in the services. Here is tourism. First we have the products, and what we need is what the tourists come and visit, again affected by COVID in the recent past. Otherwise, we're picking up very well. We have animals, we have water, we have, you name it, in tourism. We have Mount Rwenzori and others. Education is another sector. We are looking for further investment in the education sector. Health is the other one. We've talked about who's been helping in hospitals. Jimmy, he's been helping, and Doctor, you've been looking at our hospitals. So yes, we need investment, further investment in health. There are again a lot of private hospitals, and thank God for them, because I don't know how we would have got out of this COVID problem without all the investment, both government and private sector, that has gone into health, that we need so much more. The financial sector is an interesting one. Information communication technology, Zoom and everything we've been using now, everyone's moved now to the digital, be it financial sector, all the sectors, be it education, we've all moved to the digital. And of course, no one like Canada does that better. Our creative industry, DJ has been putting on some very interesting music, all from Uganda. Do you like Ugandan music? Yeah. Yes, and of course Ezekiel and Esther are a good example of what our musicians could do. Has anyone heard of Navio? That's my son, yeah. So the creative industry, music, TV, we have how many television stations? Something like 40. We have 200 plus radio stations. Ugandans love their music, and they love film and plays, you know. So the creative industry, really growing. And Queen of Katwe is a great example of a movie made in Uganda. Thank you very much. The one whose story was told is really something else. We are so grateful. The other great sector for Uganda, we actually feel Uganda is food secure. We have food. Not because we're very smart, but because God gave us. God gave us land that you can only dream about. Gave us temperatures, gave us rain, we have rivers and lakes. So really we want to thank God for that one. But now we can use it to feed the world. That's our target now. How can we be able to provide food and other agricultural products to the world? And we can. So we need you to come back and look at what you can do either in livestock or crops. We have some exciting new sectors. Oil and gas. Uganda has oil, huge deposits of oil. It will come out by 2005, but in the process now, there are lots of investment opportunities in this sector. We also have huge deposits of minerals. We have gold, we have, you name it. We have loads of minerals. And I'm very happy for both of those sectors. They are still in the ground. Our oil and gas and our minerals are still underground. They are waiting for your brains. You, the young people, who have the ability to manage this sector. So as you are sending your children to school, you have a scientist. Can they do geology? Can they do, oil and gas? So that we have the right human resource. The other countries that were earlier than us in developing this have actually had their minerals exploited, their oil exploited, and very little. They benefited very little. We must make sure. And now the process for the oil sector is a lot of local content, a lot of human resource must be local. The investors, of course, are huge. So we have big investors that are coming from abroad, but we are also looking at the other byproducts of those things that Ugandans can do. We are looking at where Ugandans can participate in these two very, very big sectors. The industrial parks, for those who need land, for you to put your project on. I just wanted to, who went to Makerere? Did anybody go to Makerere University here? Ronnie, yes, I see a few. Okay, excellent. Yes, I just wanted to let you know, the alumni of Makerere University, that I now chair the Makerere Endowment Fund. We have an endowment fund. This is the university that made us. I worked in many countries and I only needed to take my certificate. And I got a job as a medical doctor in Zambia, in Kenya, and wherever, because of our political problems at home. We traveled in many countries and we could always get a job. Why? Because of that university. Same thing for the people here. So we are grateful to our university. It requires a number of things that we can help with. Our halls, our various halls, our colleges, they all need support. So I want to encourage you, once we are ready, we shall send Ronnie all the information. It will be on UNA Times and wherever, so that you can begin to support your university back home. So I want to end by welcoming you all to Uganda. Come and visit. I know you're coming. Welcome. Come and visit, whether you're Ugandan or not, and see what Uganda is all about. And we look forward to hosting you back home. But also, how can we help? You can help with projects. We've heard about people doing various projects. You can come back and work. You have skills here that our Ugandans only dream about. Come back, there are jobs for you in various organizations, or come back and start your business. If you have a business idea, you are welcome. I thank you very much, Ronnie.
Thank you very much. Could we have some more mic on this mic, please? Thank you so much, Dr. Ageesigika. As she goes down to sit, I would like to, in a special way, recognize our ambassador to Ottawa. Madam Ambassador, you are very welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, if you happen to be tuning in, you are at the Uganda-Canada Business Expo and Convention here in Ottawa. We would like to welcome you wherever you're watching. If anybody happens to be in North America, please invite him to tune in either through the link provided by Diaspora Television or BBS Telefina. To organize these events, we do it courtesy of the partners we work with. I would like to start with the Housing Finance Bank. That was one of our biggest sponsors to be able to put this event here. Ladies and gentlemen in the diaspora, if you happen to need a retirement home and need a mortgage, the leading mortgage bank in Uganda is Housing Finance Bank. And they are open. They will be having representation here in the bank. If you need a mortgage, they are right now in the studios of BBS Telefina just because of the delays we had with some of the visas coming through. So I do apologize on their behalf for not being able to make it. In another way, I would like to recognize Post Bank. Post Bank has been a supporter of this event since we started, ably represented today by Florence Senga, who will be able to say something once our keynote from the citizenship judge is made. I would also like to recognize other partners, including Satguru Travel. The biggest travel company in Uganda today happens to be Satguru Travel. They have offices here in Toronto. They have offices in Washington, D.C. They have offices now in Uganda, and they process immigration paperwork and all the other stuff that you might need if you're planning to travel here to Canada or the United States. We are proud to have been partners in getting some of the paperwork as well as the visa processes done. In a special way, I would like to recognize the team, Diaspora Television, that are here. Mr. Kalungi was through music. Susan Namulindwa, the Committee Uganda Association of Ottawa, everybody who has supported us in whatever way, we really appreciate. Ethiopian Airlines gave us a 12% discount for everybody who was coming for this convention. We would like to thank the country manager, Ethiopian Airlines in Uganda, for that. They were able to support us all the way. Before Judge Rochelle comes, I would like to say something. I was running out of time. Many of you might not have known the story. We were very frustrated in terms of getting all our visas on time. But I would like to thank God for having friends in high places. When I invited her to come and be a keynote, she accepted to drive all the way from Toronto with her family, and she's here. But what I wanted to tell you was a testimony of how she was able, through a phone call I made to her late at night, to put me in touch with the Deputy Minister of, anyhow, that we were able to get everything going, and we were able to get, you know, Afrigo, the visas we needed. But anyhow, I just wanted to say that, Judge Rochelle, it's a pleasure to have you here. I just wanted you to address the people of Uganda about how they can be able to get lawful citizenship in this country and some of the mistakes commonly made by some. That way they can be able to make amends in future. She's one of only 9 citizenship judges in this country, and I'm glad that she's been able to support our communities of color and also in the diaspora as a whole. Judge Rochelle, please welcome and address this audience and enjoy Ottawa.
Thank you so much, Ronnie. Hello, everyone. Hello. So my parents are Jamaican, and in Jamaican culture, we do a call and answer. When I say good morning, you say? I don't know that everyone's awake, though. It seems like everyone is sleeping, so I will say good morning, and you will say? Oh, much better. Thank you. It is so wonderful to be here today. I'm just going to open my iPad here. Technology is wonderful when it works. So I'm really just so pleased to be here today, to be able to join you and to be able to speak about the promise of Canada. I know that I spoke with you virtually in 2020, I believe, about Canada itself and what Canada has to offer. And here I am today with some updated information for you. But first, it is my great privilege just to join you and to address members of the Uganda community, not just here in Canada, but also online with us today. So thank you for having me, and thank you to Ronnie and his team for inviting me to be a part of such a wonderful and important event for the Uganda diaspora. So, as Ronnie said, my name is Rochelle Ivry, and I am one of only 9 citizenship judges in Canada. I'm currently the only black citizenship judge, and I've been the only black citizenship judge since 2018. So, not only do I hold, I guess I take all of our communities with me as I go, and so I represent all of you in addition to, what I do for a living. And so, like I said, back in 2020, I had the great privilege to speak with you about the promise of Canada, why Canada is a country that you should consider for work and studies, and of course to immigrate as permanent residents. And for those that have successfully immigrated and made a life here in Canada, why it's important to become Canadian citizens and what citizenship means in a Canadian context. So I'm sure many of you have been wondering how the pandemic has impacted the immigration landscape since 2020 and what is on the horizon. So that's what we'll be doing today. Okay? So, despite the global pandemic that affected the world in 2020, and that continues to this day, for 2022, Canada continues to be ranked the #1 country by the U.S. and World Reports in the world for quality of life. In the world. Okay? And Canada is now ranked #1 as the best overall country in the world. So when we look at all considerations, Canada is the #1 country in the world just as the best overall country. Canada also continues to be ranked in the top 5 in the world as best for women. I'd like to think that I helped to advance some of that. There's actually 7 female citizenship judges, so there's only 2 men. And so that's actually a beautiful thing to see, and that's not normal in the context. I'm also the second youngest one, so I know sometimes I walk in the room and people kind of think it's weird to see someone looking as, melanin helps, but looking as young as I do. And so I think that's a real blessing and a testament to what Canada has to offer for women. It's also in the top 5 for education and also to raise children. I'm a mom of 4. My husband Aldine and I have 4 children, and there are so many opportunities here that, that's the reason why my parents even came to Canada, right? My parents came from Jamaica. My husband's family came from Antigua and Sierra Leone to make a better life for their family, and we have been able to hopefully make them proud, right? And that's exactly why people come to Canada, in order to make a better life, have more opportunities for their children that they can then invest, as Dr. Maggie says, back home in order to bring that innovation and all of the wonderful things that they've learned here in order to make our countries back home better and also to make Canada better as well, right? The innovation, the intelligence, the beauty that we are able to bring to Canada is also very special. Okay, so I've been asked to give you a few tips, and so I'm going to try my best with that. So the first thing that I have to implore, and this is coming from someone who has been in the immigration world for a number of years, it's really important that you obtain proper legal advice and retain appropriate counsel. That could be a lawyer. It could also be an immigration consultant that's registered with the College of Immigration Consultants of Canada, but make sure that they are registered with whatever provincial law society that's available. So in Ontario, that would be the Law Society of Ontario, but then also Canada has a College of Immigration Consultants that regulates immigration consultants. So please make sure that you are speaking with someone who can give you proper legal advice, because there are so many avenues to immigrate. like a plethora. I'll talk about some of them today, but there are so many avenues, and you actually have to choose the right one for you. Not the thing that you heard from your cousin, not the thing that you heard from somebody else who came here 10 years ago, not the thing that you just kind of found out about but you're not really sure about. You need to get legal advice to know what's best for you, because what could be for you may not be for someone else, okay? So, because the issue, if you don't choose the right one, is that can result in misrepresentation, that can result in failed attempts, right? And it can affect your further eligibility, okay? So one thing that I always tell people, both my students and, so I didn't mention, but I'm also an adjunct professor at Queen's Law School in the citizenship program. So when I say my students, that's who I'm talking about. So when I talk to my students about making the right choices and providing appropriate legal advice, it's because those choices that you make, even if it's just to come and visit, even if it's just to initially come as a student, those things affect you even up until you're becoming a citizen of this country, if that's what you desire. Those things stay on your file. Those are things that they're constantly looking at. So we want to make the best choices up front, okay? So there are actual requirements in order to meet the definition, for instance, of, refugee protection here in Canada. It's not simply that you might have a compelling story, right? We actually have legislation that outlines, what makes somebody a convention refugee, so you have to make sure that that's even what's right for you. And many people might make the choice thinking that they should come to Canada as a refugee when in fact they have so many skills and so many things that would actually make them eligible for another program where they might find more success. Okay? So that's really fundamentally important. The second thing, many people apply as students, and assuming that you have the desire to attend school in Canada, this is a really good way to immigrate, because Canada is looking for people who, one, have Canadian education, ideally, but if you don't, that you just have to regularize your education, right? Like there's ways to be able to do that. But it's a good way to come if you want to come as a student, because, having Canadian education kind of puts you in a good position. But again, we're ranked in the top 3 for education in the world, so that is meaningful for Uganda, right? If you're now going to bring that innovation and the things that you've learned back home, then that's a really important thing to be able to do. And there are many programs that help you to regularize yourself after you're done school. So for instance, there's a Canada Experience class, and there's a number of other ways that you can then become a permanent resident by being a student here in Canada. Do your research into jobs that are in demand here in Canada, and then tailor your schooling in an area that's much needed. So Statistics Canada has actually indicated that the demographic makeup of the Canadian labor force is set to evolve in the years ahead, and they forecast that the workforce will be getting older, more reliant on immigrants, and increasingly prone to shortages in certain sectors. And so, as I said when I spoke with you in 2020, the skilled trades are still in very high demand in Canada. And actually, this is a quote directly from the Government of Canada website. Canada's workforce needs more skilled trade workers. They have expertise and skills that are essential to our economy and our way of life. When Canadians are contemplating a new career, we want them to consider, and so not just Canadians, right, but people who come to Canada, we want them to consider entering the skilled trades and to understand the exciting and well-paying opportunities that they represent. Now, we have to understand also, in a Canadian context, the skilled trades get paid very well here. In the United States, that may not necessarily be the case, depending on what you choose. But here in Canada, I mean, I remember being in university many years ago. And I remember having friends who were in the skilled trades, and they were making all sorts of money that I was not making. And I started questioning whether I made the right choices. And that was many years ago. Now there are a number of shortages in the skilled trades, and it's actually a very viable and meaningful way to be able to provide a really great life for you and your family. Canada still has one of the largest artificial intelligence workforces that is lacking in diversity, so this could be a potential area of focus. Of course, STEM, postgraduate work, or like master's or PhD programs will really bode you well here in Canada, because like Uganda, we're a highly educated workforce here, and so the more education you get, it could, bolster your ability to improve your quality of life. Now, under the Immigration Levels Program, Canada is now looking to welcome over 430,000 new immigrants each year, which is the highest levels in Canada's history. So if there is a time to immigrate to Canada, this would be it. here now over the next 3 years, okay? So for context, just so I can explain that to you, in 2021, IRCC, which is Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada, exceeded its target by welcoming more than 405,000 immigrants to Canada. That was the highest. And then Canada said, hold my beer, we're going to invite more, okay? And so in 2022, this target is now 431,645 people, permanent residents. In 2023, Canada will aim to welcome an additional 447,000 or more. And in 2024, that will be over 451,000. So as we can hear, Canada wants more and more people to come over the next few years. And the great majority of these new immigrants, these immigrant targets fall under the economic classes, right? So when we talk about the economic classes, we're talking about federal skilled workers, we're talking about the federal skilled trades program, the Canada Experience class, and also provincial nominee programs. So the express entry system plays a really key role in addressing labor shortages as well as supporting Canada's economic recovery in the context of the ongoing global pandemic. And so it's really important that we are looking in these areas because that's where Canada is looking in order to gain new immigrants and permanent residents to Canada. Very quickly on provincial nominee programs, many don't realize that provinces can actually recruit their own immigrants. So in addition to applying for under the express entry to generally come to Canada, you can also specifically choose a particular province that you want to come to. Now, while Ontario does have a provincial nominee program, the most robust and the ones that are probably more successful are in provinces where there's not a lot of people or where they haven't really been successful gaining a lot of people. So for instance, the Atlantic Immigration Program used to be a pilot when I first spoke with you in 2020. It is now a permanent program because it was so successful and because our Atlantic provinces need a lot of people. And through that program, you can actually become a permanent resident in 6 months. How many of you, when you arrived here, would have jumped at the chance to become a permanent resident in 6 months? Hands? Yes. It takes a long time for some people. And so to be able to be in an environment where you have good paying jobs, the weather is interesting, but it's still very beautiful, right? And then also being able to get permanent residence in a very short period of time is very attractive and useful. It just gets you that much closer to citizenship, okay? Another province, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, some of our prairie provinces are very strong. Now, for those who already study, live, and work here in Canada, you have made a wonderful choice. I'm a little biased, but I think you've made a wonderful choice. And there are things that I want you to consider. So for students and those currently on work visas, have you identified how you're going to regularize yourself in Canada? How are you going to become a permanent resident? Okay? You need to be thinking about that now. What is your pathway that you would like to choose or is best for you for your permanent residence? Ensure that you are continually renewing and extending your visas and permits. Do not allow them to expire because there are implications to expired visas and what have you. Okay? As I've spoken about earlier, the Canada Experience class is a very good option. Spousal sponsorship, business class, investors and entrepreneurship, skilled workers, these are all things that are very important for Canada. But what matches your situation best? You have to think about that. And you have to think that it's not just the Ugandan community that's interested in regularizing themselves as students. We have many, many students coming from India and China and Europe. So there's a lot of competition there. So you want to really be thinking about it and planning so that you're poised to be in the best position to get your permanent residence. I'm going to say this because I know in my own personal community, this is a very popular thought. Please do not get married in order to stay in Canada. Okay? I can't tell you, my own niece came to me one day and said, oh, I guess I'm going to have to get married if I... And I said, no, what? First of all, you're talking to a citizenship judge, so what are you talking about? But then also, that is not true. Now, my niece has a degree in biochemistry and still thought that she needed to get married in order to stay in Canada. That just goes to show how much misinformation is there. It's actually not a very good idea. Many people make this mistake. They enter into what are called non-bona fides relationships. put themselves in situations where they might be abused or what have you. And Canada is very strict about not, like, relationships that are not real, okay? There's a lot of questions, there's a lot of things that they do to make sure. In fact, just anecdotally, I have a friend who got married to a young man. They have a beautiful family now and what have you, but even after her sponsorship, her spousal sponsorship, and even after she, they were married or what have you, and he already got his PR, yeah, they showed up on the doorstep just to make sure that it was a real relationship. This is like 8 months after he had already gotten his permanent residence. So you want to make sure that you're doing the right things for you so that you don't succumb to many of the issues that I hear afterward. Keep your documentation and records when you apply for permanent residence, and even after you're a permanent resident, please make note of all of your travel in and out of the country, even if it's just a day trip, because you will need that information later on, okay? You'll have to show proof of your physical presence in Canada. You'll have to show your educational attainment. You'll have to prove that you reside and your income. So these are things that you want to have straight and organized, because if you don't have the proof, then it does not exist, okay? So for permanent residents, very quickly, what do you think I'm going to say? Get your citizenship in Canada. I would be remiss if I was standing here as a citizenship judge and not telling you to get your citizenship. Last year, in 2021 alone, we swore in, I presided over many ceremonies, but we swore in collectively across Canada over 217,000 new Canadians last year. And our targets are much higher for this year. And it will continue to get higher. Canada wants more of you to become citizens, but what is the value proposition of that? Why should you become a citizen? So I'll tell you, right? So when I talked about constantly renewing your permanent resident card, constantly missing renewal deadlines, you don't have to worry about that, because now you're a Canadian. You don't have to worry about your permanent residence issues. You can vote. And in today's political climate, it is very important that you vote and that you obtain and exercise your right to vote. We see how non-engagement and misinformation has led to changes that have had an adverse effect on poor and vulnerable populations. Many boards and commissions and agencies require citizenship to be on a board. For those of you that know me outside of the citizenship context, a lot of my speaking engagements are about getting involved civically and about being on, having your seat at the table, being able to speak to the needs of the diaspora while you are, sitting on various boards, corporate boards, even government boards, what have you. And in many cases, you can't do that without your citizenship here in Canada, because that's one of the requirements. So to have your voice at the table is really, really important to advocate. You can get a Canadian passport. Now, this is really important because Canada's passport ranks among the 5th most powerful passports in the world for 2022, right? You don't have to have the scrutiny when you're arriving at the airport and all of a sudden you're put aside and they're checking through all your things and, right? All of those lineups that I know very much about, those don't exist when you have a Canadian passport, because you're coming through that Canadian line. You know that line that's shorter? Yeah, that's the line, right? So a Canadian passport is really important, but most importantly, valued amongst the world. Canadians are loved. Canadians are nice people. Even Americans wear Canadian flags on their lapel because of what Canada means, okay? So it's having a Canadian passport is really important. Having access to more and higher paying jobs. These are jobs where they prefer Canadian citizens, or even where Canadian citizenship is required. So a Government of Canada job, their preference is for Canadian citizens. So you would have negated yourself out of a number of jobs if you are not a Canadian citizen, okay? And also too, some jobs require you to, if you have your citizenship, it's a lot easier for you to have mobility, right? So you don't have to get a visa to another country. You don't have to work all those things out. And so you become a more ideal candidate because you have your citizenship. Okay? You're free to live and work in any province or territory, and you have the right to enter and remain. Now, many people take this for granted until the pandemic hit, and all of a sudden, as I heard the young man talk about, he got on the last flight back to Canada, right? All of a sudden, right, you want to be able to get back to Canada, you don't want to be denied entry into Canada, and I think that this pandemic has really hit home some of those things that we take for granted, of being able to just come and go as we please. And so it's really important that you to obtain your citizenship in order to have that mobility. In order to have the mobility that Dr. Maggie's talking about, to be able to open a business and come back and forth, the ease of that is increased when you have your Canadian citizenship. You want to be able to secure your future and the future of your family both here and abroad. Okay? And of course, I always said this, and I've said this before, the Ugandan community benefits from securing citizenship so that you can do more for your families and for Uganda. Play an active role in the democratic system here and help to actualize positive change for our communities, and this is needed now more than ever. So it's really important that you pursue citizenship. Uganda actually allows for dual citizenship, but you can't have a third citizenship, so you got to make the right choice, right? And so there's nothing precluding you from still doing all the things that you want to do for Uganda, and in fact, probably puts you in a better position to do more for Uganda when you get your citizenship here in Canada. And so I would strongly encourage you to do so because of what it means for you, your family, your future generations, but also what it can mean for what you can do for Uganda as well. And so I know that some of you have questions, so I'm going to end there. But what I will say is just keep in mind that as a citizenship judge, I cannot give any type of legal advice. I have to maintain my impartiality, so I can try my best to be able to address some things and possibly direct you to where you can get the information if I can't answer your question. So thank you so much for having me, and I hope that you're now encouraged to seek out further information in order for you to be able to secure your legacy and the legacy of your children and generations to come. So thank you.
Judge, there will be questions for you later as soon as the broadcast is done, so if you can probably have a seat and we'll call you back. Yes. Once again, a round of applause for our keynote this morning, Judge Rochelle Ivory, one of only 9 citizenship judges in the federal government here in Canada. Thank you so much for joining us. Once again, if you're just joining us, I would like to welcome all our global audiences, wherever you might be watching us from. Again, in a special way, we recognize our ambassador. She will be our last speaker, last definitely, but not, Okusembyayo Kakodyo. She will wrap it all up for us, but we are continuing with this program and would like to invite one of our sponsors. Postbank is going to be saying something. We also, in a special way, want to recognize Debbie. Debbie represents World Remit. She will also probably come and say something. I didn't know she was here. Thank you so much. She represents North America, World Remit, Canada as well. Thank you so much for being able to join us. She's been supporting us over the years. Thank you. Once again, I recognize all our partners and sponsors. Again, Postbank, Housing Finance Bank, a bank where you can be able to get a mortgage for your retirement home in Uganda. Centenary Bank, represented by their marketing manager here, Mr. Michael Jingo. He will be saying a few words, a chance to address the global audience, including those back home in Uganda, to make sure that you feel represented. At this juncture, I would like to invite Florence Senga, representing Postbank as the head of Diaspora Banking. She's going to be able to tell us what Postbank does. If I might add, I think Postbank, with about 50,000 diaspora account, has the largest portfolio as far as that docket is concerned. Am I right or wrong?
Good morning. My name is Florence Nsenga from Uganda, the Pearl of Africa. I'm proud to be Ugandan. I'll go straight into my little presentation. It's all about diaspora banking. I've sung this song for, I think, over 10 years. Yeah. Postbank started diaspora banking in 2013. We launched it in USA, Texas, with around 100 accounts, I remember, during the conversion. And just like you heard, Ronnie, we have the biggest number of diaspora customers right now. And we are continuing to serve our Ugandans that live abroad. I'll talk about Postbank briefly. Postbank is a government-owned bank. It's 100% government-owned. It's Tier 1, which means it's a commercial bank. So you can enjoy all the benefits of commercial bank in Postbank. How do you open an account in Postbank? There are different ways. You can open an account by online access through our website, www.postbank.co.ug. You just follow the prompts. Or you can come to the bank, or like in such events like this where we come to you, the people, the Ugandans in the diaspora, it becomes very easy. You can come to the stall out there and open an account. There are different benefits of having diaspora banking. Like, for example, you can access loans. There are so many customers that have benefited from Postbank diaspora banking through loans. We have different kinds of loans. Like, you can be right here. Maybe you have land back home and you don't even know what to use it for. We have agricultural loans, which are very cheap. We have the home construction and land acquisition loans. You can acquire land, you can buy a home. We have different partners, like Affordable Homes. I don't know whether they have any representatives here. We have the Comfort Homes. We have quite a number of different partners. So if you're here and you want to own a home back home, or you want to buy land, but you don't have enough money, you can just contact us, Postbank Uganda. We shall help you own a home or get a land or construct a house. We also have different benefits, like you can invest back home. Just like I told you, we're a commercial bank. You can invest in treasury bills, you can invest in treasury bonds, but we also have short-term deposits, which really earn a lot of interest. The fixed deposits. You can be here and maybe you have money that you're keeping and you're not sure what to use it for. You can safely keep that money in your fixed deposits. Then whenever you're ready, when the time comes, like we all know that fixed deposits are term deposit, maybe you fix it for 2 years or a year. By that time you'll know what to use the money for. Then we have insurance. Like so many people have relatives that you left back home, but you're not even sure what kind of medical cover they have, or you send money, but they still go to those little poor clinics. Please come experience the diaspora banking with us and help your relatives back home. Get them on insurance. We have different partners that we work with. You can have life insurance for your relatives. You can have medical. You can do so much for your people back home through Postbank diaspora banking. Ronnie, I see your time is ticking, but there is so much to say. But because of time, abali ewaka mbatumidde era namwe abatali mu diaspora musobola okugenda mu Postbank yonna. We are in all major cities in Uganda with over 50 brick and mortar branches, over 300 agent locations, and you can find us in at least over 800 locations. That is all agents and brick and mortar and everywhere. Like, you can find us everywhere. You can experience online banking with us. Like, if you have an account with us, you can have your online banking and you're able to monitor what goes on your account. For example, like if you've bought those houses, or you have some condos back home and you're collecting some money, you know, you're able to monitor what goes into your account. Or if you have any business back home, people can keep depositing money in your account. Ronnie, Thank you for the time, and abali ewaka bambi mugenda ku branch yonna ekuliraanye eya Post Bank ogulewo account olwaleero with Post Bank Uganda and experience the best customer service you can ever have in any bank in Uganda. Thank you so much.
My other partners will kill me for that. I would like to, we still have about 2 or 3 more of these Ujenzi. If you can come, Ujenzi Homes, Building Homes and Living Dreams. 2 minutes, please. When we say 2 minutes, just because we're broadcasting, we'd like it to be 2 minutes. Tell us who you are, what you do, why should people buy from you, and where to get your property. I would ask Mr. Michael Jingo, the marketing manager of Centenary Bank, to be on deck, please. And then we'll be inviting the ambassador shortly, as well as Eldon, to tell us about the investment opportunities in Canada for those people looking to invest. He's going to be telling us exactly what you can be able to invest in and how you can be able to engage him. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ronnie. Protocol observed. Good afternoon. How is everyone doing? Protocol observed. Ambassador, Ms. Chikozi, Pastor, and everybody. My name is Sham Kawesi, and I'm here representing Ujenzi Homes. We are a Canadian company, and we are registered and incorporated in British Columbia. And we are here to serve Ugandans and give them a direct connect to Uganda. Basically, those that are interested in building or investing in real estate. It can be in residential, commercial, or industrial. But our main focus for now has been residential, targeting the Ugandans that are in the diaspora. Post Bank was just out here, and they were basically talking about they have the loans, they have all these options that you can use to invest. But most people don't have the people to use, and that's where we come in. So Ujenzi, we notice that Ugandans need a direct way on basically to invest in Uganda. Yes, you can have the finances and have the technical know, but having a place to go to that you can find all the professional services has been, I think, has been lacking. So we came in and we are sort of a one-shop center. We basically take on from concept design. Somebody comes in, you have money, you want to invest, and you think you have ideas in your head. So basically we can start from those ideas, put them on paper. Let's we discuss about them, put them on paper, and have those ideas out of your head, then basically help you execute them. So we provide services like investment planning. That's if you have land, you don't know what to do with it. We can go do a survey and do a market research and basically tell you, you know what, you can do something like this on that land, and you'll be able to develop it and get a return. We do surveys as well. We do architectural designs and structural designs. We do construction estimations. We'll tell you how much you need to invest before you even break ground. At least you want to know how much you're going to invest. We also do construction estimation and project management as well. Let's say you already have a project that has gone up through. You need somebody to help you out, put it back on track, and so that is where we come in from. We supply building materials as well. But also people in the diaspora, because we are the founders for Ujenzi Homes are mainly Canadians, and we are a Canadian company. So we basically have been here, been part of the community, and we are bringing up solutions that are basically going to be fixing or the solutions that are tailored to people in the diaspora. That is our main goal. We're not going to give you solutions that are not practical, that things don't work with and we are also trying to, anyway, we are going to, anybody who needs more information, we shall be outside there on, we have a vendor table, please come by, grab a brochure and come, let's invest. Because everybody has money, they want to invest home, they don't know where to start from. Come, let's give you a solution that is tailored to you, custom designed to you, that works for you. Thank you very much, Ron.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kawesi. You'll forgive me, it seems our people always have time issues, but the 2 minutes turn into 10. So is it going to be 2 minutes? Before I give you this mic, because I still have, and by the way, in a special way, I recognize the High Commissioner of Kenya. I believe we have someone representing the Kenyan government. Okay. I do apologize for that. We invited them and they told us they would be here. And then we'll also recognize Debbie in a special way. Please make it 2 minutes.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'll endeavor to probably take 2 minutes. Protocol observed. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Michael Jingo. I work as a head of commercial banking at Centenary Bank. In a few seconds, Centenary Bank is the second largest bank with over 2.3 million customers, over 81 branches, and over 5,000 agents. Talking about accounts, we are in excess of 8,000 diaspora accounts. Key to note this morning is the benefits we are here to give you, because the rest you will get from our, from our stall. One is you have a charge-free account where you're able to access it anywhere online. You're able to get interest on it. You're able to send money using Wave, World Remit, Swift, and all the others. And again, the other benefit you enjoy is the mortgage facilities we have, up to 10 years at 17%. The collateral is what you're investing in. The other benefit we have that is ready is the last expense. Many people call it funeral insurance. At about $100 per annum, you qualify for 50 million compensation, just in case you go to the Lord. The other benefits that you'll enjoy, certainly you have a relationship manager assigned to you. You're sure that your money is safe. You have insurance on your account, and you have over 3,000 employees at the bank to serve you at all times. And this is a Ugandan local bank. Thank you very much. I hope that is the 2 minutes.
Thank you so much. Just before I invite the ambassador, did you want to talk about briefly the opportunities in investment in about 5 minutes that they could take advantage of? Just because we wanted to make sure we don't break away from the live broadcast. We can continue this conversation afterwards. There might be people who want to invest their money. Mr. Eldon is an investment specialist. He definitely will help you invest money here in Canada. He's the husband to the judge, and I would like to invite him to have something to say as far as areas of opportunity in Canada, if you can basically keep it brief and then come back after the broadcast. This is for the general audience watching abroad or globally.
All right, good morning or good afternoon, depending on where you are in the world. Thank you, Ronnie, for this opportunity. All praises to the Most High, because we're all here because of our God. So just briefly, I know I'm on limited time. I'm the Managing Director of Wheatfield Financial Group here in Ontario. So I specialize in increasing cash flow for my clients. So I walk clients through a model, protection, savings, and growth. So that's for you here locally. As black people throughout the diaspora, Africa, the Caribbean, we don't have a poverty issue. I would venture to say we have a branding issue. If the countries of Europe could have put aside their differences and they could agree to get machinery from Germany, wine from France, and do finance through England, then I'm sure that we too can take advantages of the great resources and opportunities that we have throughout the diaspora and on the continent and so forth. So for all the the men in the room that used to play with magnifying glasses, we know that when we're outside in the sun, we're not affected. But you now take a magnifying glass and you focus the sun's rays, you could create a forest fire. So our issue is we need to become more focused, more deliberate in what we do. So, for example, I could have bought a Tag watch, a Cartier, a Movado, but I ended up purchasing a very nice watch out of Virginia in the U.S. called Tally and Twine, because I'm very deliberate with how I assign my resources. So, like I said, I walk our Canadian clients through a process of protection, savings, and growth, specifying specifically on the growth aspect. Two opportunities that we have right now is real estate development. We know in Canada it's a very secure market. We know Canada has very coherent laws. So for those that are interested, we assist those in getting involved in real estate. We have all our team members in place in order to do that. I used to promote mutual funds a lot. I stopped doing that because what essentially a mutual fund is they're just aggregating everybody's funds and then giving it to businesses to allocate, and they use it now to build and develop. So I thought, well, why can't we do that? And then secondly, for those, so that's more of an active investment play. For those that are interested in a more passive investment play, if you have money that you want to allocate, there's individuals that need money. So we have a system in place that will take your money as an investment. We will pay you interest on an annual basis. That money gets utilized by business people in real estate or so forth, and then you earn a very secure return. So I will end with this, that there's more opportunity and success in collaboration over competition. So let's collaborate. Thank you very much.
Yeah, again, forgive the rush. It's because we are broadcasting live and we wanted to make sure that everybody gets an opportunity to say something. We've had people who have been part of this event. I don't know if Debbie, you wanted to say something on behalf of Warumi. Okay. No. Yes or no? Well, okay. So basically, she's one of our partners here, but Mr. Gafapusa, why don't you come and this is one of the people who has been part of us, from the time he told us he wanted to come down here. Just wanted to give him a minute as a testimony of someone who has come courtesy of this convention and had their life changed here in Canada. Basically to say something, a word or two, and how his experience has been. But just make it 1 minute, and I will then invite our ambassador to honor and basically give us all the protocols of some of the ambassadors and people present here, and then we'll go back into regular programming. If you're watching us, we're live on BBS Telefina and Diaspora TV. We thank you, partners, sponsors, everybody who has partnered with us to make this happen. Again, we appreciate the time. If there is anything that is missing, again, we do have an event after this. By the way, the boat cruise tickets are available, and it's going to be a first come, first serve. You need to pick up your ticket because they will not allow more than the allotted number of tickets we have available. So make sure you get that. We have an evening cocktail taking place here from about 5 to 8 for those who are going to be staying here before we head out to the evening midnight boat cruise. So please plan for that. Tomorrow there will be a church service led by Pastor Kyria. And then we'll have a town hall if there are people who wanted to talk. We invited some politicians as well to be part of this event to kind of give you feedback if you want to hear from them. There is an opportunity for that. And then we'll have a grand finale dinner at 6, beginning with a cocktail tomorrow. That's how our program is going to run. Be sure to invite a friend and we'll be part of that event tomorrow. So in a minute, do you want to give people what this experience has done for you, please?
Thank you, Ronnie and the team. Good morning, everybody. My name is William. I think for me, from the start, everything has been said, and it touches me. And as Ronnie said, I'm a testimony to this event because it all came through the social media, the way it was put out there. I landed to learn to get the information, and the information was, of course, I had the reason to move because of different reasons which everyone stands for. And I did the research through the right support, got connections and how to connect to Canada, did the fees. I paid the fees that were required, which was the event fees. Got help from the few people that connected me to and trust me with the research I did. I was able to land into Canada. And when the judge was mentioning about making the right choices, of course that was part of the research I did. And I can tell you today's history because I got my PR, and as I speak, I'm doing my school. Those are some of the benefits I can tell you. So step by step or inch by inch, we're going places. I can tell you when I attended the meeting, which was the reason why I came, trust me, I never had anything to go back home because the opportunities I saw in Canada and building my, I call it empire, as my code name is Mr. No Retreat. I said, no, I'm not retreating, but I'm going places for as long as I'm in Canada because I saw the opportunities. So through school, I'm doing my school, and I've gotten the connections through the first event, and I never miss any other opportunity. So Ronnie, thank you so much, and the team. I've made networks with different strategic partners. I promise, and I'm positive. Next session, I'll be able to present my brand here. Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to allow the judge to ask questions later. Because of the broadcast that we have, I would like to invite our ambassador to Ottawa, Madame Anne Ruth Chen, to come and address you. Madam, there is a global audience. We are not only here alone. We have people watching us in Uganda, BBS Telefina. And I just wanted you to invite them also to join us tomorrow, those in Ottawa, and also to recognize our ambassadors and representatives from the embassies that are here today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ronnie. Good morning, everybody. I don't know if it is still morning. Okay. I will start by recognizing a few individuals. But I'll definitely recognize all of you. So if I don't mention your name, don't say, oh, ambassador has not mentioned my name. My sister, Judge Rochelle, thank you so much for coming back again. And thanks for the insight information you've given people who are here and people who are watching online. Actually, it has been the major issue. My people back in Uganda, they ask, how can we migrate to Canada? And most of them think seeking asylum is the best, and yet they can come as skilled immigrants. How people who are watching online listen to her very well. My sister, Dr. Maggie Kigozi, thank you so much for coming and bringing great news from Investment Authority and encouraging our people, our Ugandan diaspora, to always go back home. I want to recognize my sister Debbie, who has always been standing with Ronnie's when they're organizing this great convention, which is now the 5th one. I want to recognize the representative another embassy. You're welcome. Pastor Joseph Kiria, you've been always a great and a supportive son of Uganda in Canada. We always appreciate what you do for us. I am not here alone. I came with my staff from Uganda High Commission, Ottawa. I have Ambassador Ellen Kasozi with us. I have our defense attaché, Colonel Bahoko Barije. BB, Colonel BB, you're most welcome. I have my immigration team back there. I have Gloria. I have Deborah, I have, yes, we have a guest also from Kampala who has come to support the immigration services. Thank you very much, the team that have organized this event. And this event is organized annually just to showcase and highlight the opportunities that Uganda offers to the world that ranges from trade, investment, tourism. So it is just going to be interactive. Feel free to interact, feel free to share, feel free to know a sister from Kenya, from Tanzania, from Lango like me, from elsewhere. So it also helps us to mingle with each other. So I want to thank the Canadians who are, and the friends of Uganda who are here at this conference. And I want to wish everybody a successful participation during this event. Whoever is not yet here, this is your Ambassador Joy Ruth Acheng. I am calling you to join us. The conference is not ending now, it is continuing. We are going to have today the whole day, even tomorrow we have activities. We are going to issue national IDs. We've already enrolled and given quite a number of you national IDs. We are continuing with it today and tomorrow. And then also passport renewals, and we shall also guide you how to get back your citizenship or how to become a dual citizenship, because we don't want to lose you. We want you to be in Canada when you're also a Ugandan, because one time you'll go back home. And even when you're here, we recognize and we appreciate your participation and contribution into our economy back home. Thank you so much. Be blessed. See you later.
This is Diaspora TV, your #1 global network.
Speech. That was because the guys in the studio were telling us to sort of wrap up, ladies and gentlemen. Our host, Mr. Solomon Seranja, got his visa but was not able to make the flight to be here with us in time. And we just wanted to let you know that all our programs are going to be continuing, and we should be able to see you at the boat cruise later this evening at 9. We have an evening cocktail. We're going to have a cash bar here with a DJ from about 5, just to allow for people who will not be heading to the boat to join us here. And then tomorrow we'll have a grand finale dinner at 6 with a cocktail again beginning, and then 7 dinner will be served. So please invite as many people as possibly can to come and celebrate the East African Cooperation as well as Uganda heritage as a whole. Once again, I would like to thank those who have been viewing and all our guests that have been tuning in. We're going to be breaking away now to allow for Housing Finance Bank, who are in the studio in Uganda, to be able to make their presentation, since we did not have the screens here for them to join in. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you, BBS, partners, sponsors. Thank you for the support. Till we meet again next year, God bless you, and we're out. Thank you.
Misinda gy'amazaalibwa ga Kabaka 2022 jijino gikomyewo nga 3 Julayi 2022 ku Sande mu Lubiri Mengo omwaka guno. Emisinde gya ddala era nga Ssaabasajja Kabaka mwene ajja kugisimbula ku ssaawa emu ey'okumakya ku mutwalo gumu n'ekitundu. Gula tiketi yo ku maduuka ga Airtel, New Park Chagwe Road, Shoprite, Ben Kiwanduka, Tombani Center, Majestic Brands, Ebulange Mengo. Oba kulanga okussa Airtel Money nyiga *18565 hashi ogoberera emitendera osasule. Kabaka Birthday Run 2022 ekukyusibwako UNAIDS, DFCU Bank, CBS, BBS awamu ne Airtel, the smartphone network.
The Baganda call it monene. The Banyankole muhango. The Acholi date don't date. The Bagishu umubafu. It means king size freshness for all.